So that's more than the price of the climate package until 2020. So I think that these very rapid decisions by the prime ministers and others when the financial crisis was a reality showed that when there is a political will, when the leaders understand that it's really necessary to prevent a catastrophe in our societies, to take rapid, even costly measures, when this is understood, then this is done. And well, the figures which we are now discussing about the climate package are much, much less than the figures which have already decided on the financial crisis. And as my colleagues have said, if we delay the action on climate, then the price will be much, much more in the future.
Thank you. And the final question is a process-related question. Our project tries to involve citizens in explaining them how the Parliament works, explaining them how the climate change dossiers are evolving, and we are now at a particular moment when a so-called trialogue process is starting. So I would ask the question to the rapporteur: what is that trialogue process exactly, and how is the collaboration with the other institutions going to happen in the next month, and what kind of outcome do you expect with relation to the effort-sharing proposal?
Yes, well, these procedures in EU decision-making are really complicated and tricky, and personally I think that the fact that these are so complicated is a kind of democracy deficit in EU, because it's really to understand, if you are not working here, it's really difficult to understand what's going on. This trialogue is linked to the fact that all parts of the climate package are so-called co-decision legislation, which means that before we have the new EU law, it must be there must be a yes from the European Parliament and also from the Council of Ministers, which means the member country governments. And trialogue is a negotiation between the Parliament and the Council of Ministers and the Commission. And well, normally the trialogue is in a later stage when the Parliament has voted once in the plenary and when the Council of Ministers has taken an official decision once. But now, because we want this legislation to be ready before the next European Parliament election, which is in next June, because if we fail in that, we don't have the new EU climate legislation before the important Copenhagen International Climate Conference, which will be in December next year. Because of these timing reasons, we try to make the agreement on the final formulation of these laws in a shorter process, and therefore we have this trialogue negotiation between the Parliament and the Council of Ministers and the Commission after the lead committees in the Parliament have voted, which for effort sharing and emission trading and carbon capture and storage is the Environment Committee, and for the Renewable Energy Directive is the Industry and Energy Committee. And in practice, this trialogue means very hard negotiations by where several people from the Parliament and also from the Council of Ministers and Commission take part. It will be a very difficult job, and it includes a lot of very, very detailed nitty-gritty issues.
Well, I can just add, we of course look forward to what will happen in December. We hope to have a negotiation, but Mr. Sarkozy has also kind of taken the climate package on a higher level, because he has also, as I understand, said to some of the countries in in the Council of Europe between the leaders of the states, that they will have a kind of a veto. They have to have a consensus about the overall plans. So if we come out with a good result in the trialogues, and I hope that, although I'm not a big optimist, I've seen some of the papers from the Council, so they're not to be too optimistic, then we might have the problem that the Prime Ministers would let us down. So that's the most tricky thing in the process for the time being, I think.
Yeah. Maybe two comments from my side. First of all, the problem is that the Commission proposal came too late. So the target was fixed by the Council, the European Council, in March 2007. The Commission proposal should have been presented maybe October last year. Then we would have the normal procedure, vote in Parliament, common position in Council, and then discussion, how can we agree. We have the problem now that the Parliament didn't vote, and that of course creates a problem because Council representatives, others may say it is only the position of one committee and not the Parliament's position. So we should not repeat this. The Commission should in the future present the proposals in time. If they want to have it to be adopted before the election, it should be presented timely enough. And the second problem is, in a way, the Council, the summit, wants to change the rules during the game. We have co-decision. Without a majority vote in Parliament and a majority vote in Council, it can't be adopted. And that needs to be made clear when the Council, when the summit wants to have a unanimous decision, they somehow change the rule. They should change the treaty. Unless they change the treaty, they are not allowed to do this procedure.
Okay. Thank you all in the name of the E-Committee project for answering and taking time for answering the questions from the citizens we received, and we wish the Parliament, the Envy Committee, the rapporteurs and the members much success in this coming important month towards end of December and the outcome of a European climate and energy package. Thank you and good evening.